Before this episode starts, for those of you on YouTube, unfortunately we had camera technical difficulties and half the episode did not record. So you'll see some waveform action up until about 35-ish minutes, and then you'll get to see our lovely faces again. So sorry about that, and we'll see. Enjoy the episode.
Frantic Nerdcast here to stay. AJ Brock and Zach will say, join the ride, don't fade away. Nerdy joy in full display.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Frantic Nerdcast, episode 44. We are back yet again. How are we, lads?
Oh, they keep letting us onto the radio. I don't know why, but it's great.
We've had a week off and it's feeling refreshed and ready to hit
Yes.
the airwaves again.
Apologies for not having episode last week. I was sick, very, very sick, and could not do the podcast. So we are back with the vengeance now, though.
And as our technical expertise behind the scenes with all that podcasting things, it's pretty important to the podcast.
Yes,
Let's just say that it wouldn't happen without him.
Yeah, pretty much.
And for those of you watching on the YouTubes, we've had some broken cameras this week, so you've got one camera. That's the one. For those of you just banging in general, there may be some coughs and some sniffles. I apologise. It's still in there somewhere, and it hasn't ventured out yet.
Lucky you.
I know.
Excellent.
All right. So this past weekend just been, our resident stud, Zach, made his way out to a gaming event in Newcastle, where we are located in Newcastle, Australia. Why don't you tell us about it, good sir?
What a place. All right, so Castle Assault is the name of a few major tournaments that the Newcastle Legion Gaming Club runs each year. So there is Castle Assault Fantasy, which happened earlier, and on the weekend we had Castle Assault Sci-Fi. So that was the two systems that would run were Horus Heresy, so 30k, and then we had Warhammer Epic as there as well. So
I'm not a fan of Heresy, man.
Looking at it, some of the models are fantastic. Some of the lore is really cool.
I just hate that it's the same models versus the same fucking models.
That's what stopped me doing it. Being Marines versus Trader Marines and things like that,
It's also
very
why
similar.
I hate the new Epic, because it's just Space Marines versus fucking Space Marines.
Yeah, it's old Epic is where it's at, mate.
Yeah, I know. Give me some fucking flavour.
The thing for me was the price point.
No, anything Games Workshop, fucking that's the reason.
For me, it wasn't so much the price point because, there's China. But it was more...
Tell us more about this China you speak of.
But for me, it's just after playing games like Epic, and probably a lot of people will say, Zach, you're a bit hypocritical about playing Age of Sigmar here, but seeing some of the tables where having like giant Titans or giant tanks and stuff on it, it just looks too big, too cluttered on a board.
Is this Heresy?
Heresy, yeah. That's just my take on it. After playing Epic, where you've got Titans, you've got tanks, you've got everything you want, and it looks
the
neat
Titans
and
are
tidy.
the size of a knight.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, the new Titans are. The old Titans are. They're tiny.
But anyway, so back to it. So first of all, I want to give a shout out to Kendall and Lindsay, who were the TOs for Epic and Heresy, respectively, this week. They did a stellar job putting it together. And then a special shout out to Kent Fury, who was the person that got Legions up and running and Castle Assault as it is. Got it to where it is today. So now, a few things about Castle Assault before I get to the individual weekend, for those that don't know much about it. There's a few things that make it one of the best tournaments to go to for any sort of player. So number one, it's a wet event, so you can drink while you roll dice and have fun with your mates.
It's dangerous.
It is very dangerous, especially for an individual, which I'll cover in a moment.
You know who you are.
But yeah, so it's a great time, like I said, going there, being able to drink. A lot of the more serious tournaments are held in venues where obviously alcohol isn't permitted. So being able to sit here and just roll dice, it just makes it a lot more relaxed vibe when your HQ is dying, but you've got a bevy to ease that pain straight away.
I think that kind of situation also helps weed out the neckbeards.
A little bit.
Neckbeards aren't really that into drinking events kind of thing.
For some, yeah, but then again, Castle Assault does it so well. They've even got another rule I'm going to come into a moment that helps
yes.
weed them out as well. So number two, it's the after party of night one. So for a long time, obviously it's held in Hamilton here. So after the first night, everyone goes out for dinner and then drinks. So we end up at the Hamilton Station or SJ's or the Kent, wherever it is along beautiful Beaumont Street there. And drink the night away. So it becomes more of a tournament of endurance at times of who can actually stand up for day two to
I was going to say, is it
take
two,
a victory.
Is it a 2 day event?
2 day
It
event.
is? Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, many people have been in with a chance after the third game or second game of day one and not showed up for the first game of day two. So, and then
Oh, that is fantastic.
the third thing is I'm not sure it actually ran because I wasn't there Saturday afternoon, but the boat races. So there is always the boat race between each system. So you know what a boat race is, I'm assuming, AJ, being a drinker. So obviously it's a drinking challenge, a relay race of everyone takes up, neck your beer.
Essentially, you drink your beer, you put your cup on your head when it's empty, and then the next person starts drinking their beer. Usually it'll be between 5v5.
Yeah, and then again, not sure if it's a traditional one, but then we end it with the last person has to do the pint at the end to be the ultimate winner.
That's nothing.
And then the fourth and final point for this is Chamomar. So Chamomar stands for Castle Assault's Mug of Mega Awesomeness. So this is a valuable, prestigious title that is bestowed upon one lucky individual. They are either
Valuable because of its prestigious title?
yes.
Yep. Okay.
It's
not fucking gold plated, is it?
Well, it's probably worth more than gold in one sense. So, if you were the winner of the previous year's tournament for this one, you get Chamomar, which means you get to drink for day one for free. So, hence
More than gold.
Thank you.
Paul McPhair, who was the winner of last year's 30K event, was in all sorts by the end of day one. But he's a legend and battled it back for day two. And then, so day two, whoever is winning at the end of day one, they get their drinks provided that night as you go out to the station.
Cool.
But yeah, so as I said, the tournament sort of turns out to more of a test of endurance for some than others. But then, so I spoke to Kendall, Lindsay, and Mick, who ended up winning this year's Heresy event again. So, as I said, he can battle through Chamomar to a T. So, basically, I asked them three sort of questions. The first one was, what are their experiences about the Castle weekend as a whole and what makes the whole event so special? And a lot of them sort of said the same thing. Here, it's one of those few times a year where mates from local areas, but also around the country sort of fly in for these events, and you get to, as I said, roll some dice, play a few games and drink a few beers with your mates.
So it's pretty widespread as the people that come through,
Yes.
like all over
Yeah,
Australia.
so we've got a couple of mates that come from Canberra each time for it. We've got people that come up from Melbourne, from Queensland.
Nice.
At one point, we did have people coming from Western Australia. But yeah, so we have had people travel from around the country to come to these.
Cool.
They did start off with old like 7th ed fantasy tournaments and 6th ed fantasy tournaments back in the day in the original ones, and obviously back when that was at its height, there were people flying in from everywhere to come to it. It does help that Kendall is the first Australia Warhammer Master as well, so having someone like that who's running these events has some sort of pull back in the day.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, so as I said, coming together, playing with your mates is always fun. And then we have a rule that's called DBAD, which stands for Don't Be a Dick. So this rule mainly applies when building lists to stop the neckbeards turning up and having that super cheese list, which means you're going to play an event where it's pretty chill, pretty casual. Yes, you'll have the odd one or two that have that sort of powered list, but overall it's pretty casual, and it's what happens on the table that's going to matter more than, you know, who just brought the best models, who had the biggest wallet to buy what they needed to buy.
I'm going to have just my list of Dark Eldar fucking jet bikes, and I'll just fly over the top of everyone. I did that once. It pissed so many neckbeards off. It was fucking glorious. Because they had a special rule. They had like spikes on the bottom, and when you fly over people, essentially it's just an attack. So all you do is just move your jet bikes and attack. And I was the first one to do it was playing orcs. So shitloads of people, but I just go, it's like the whole time back and forth. I just killed them all eventually. And he just lost his shit.
Yeah, see? Don't be a dick. point centered. Yeah, so basically, all in all, it's just a great weekend to come. Like I said, I went on Sunday and was quite jealous I didn't get to play this year because it is just such a great time of year. So the next question was, why did you choose their particular army for this year? So Lindsay was the buy-buster for Heresy, and he chose White Scars purely because he's a psychopath that wanted to paint white. His words, not mine. But if you do know Lindsay, he's a bit of a psychopath.
Fair enough.
So Mick played his Blood Angels, and I'm going to post pictures of his army onto our socials because they are
nice picks, man. Yeah, nice
they are
painted models.
fantastic. But yeah, so he basically started paying them because back in the day with Rogue Trader, Blood Angels was the first army he got into, and he's actually working towards having a 10k painted force. And as I said, they're fantastically done. This was more of a preference to him so he could run different Blood Angel style lists rather than smaller factions of different legions. So there's a lot of guys out there that have 2k or 3k of World Eaters, of Dark Angels, of that, where Mick's just gone balls to the wall on Blood Angels.
Very much so.
And then Kendall had a different answer to this. So as he ran he was the TO for Epic. He puts in a different sort of list challenge into the tournament pack each year. So this year it was running as a Mechanicum or a Knight thing. So if you brought a Mechanicum or a Knight army, you were in a chance to win a different sort of prize as that. So you could still turn up with Space Marines, and there are a lot of Space Marines in it this year. But those ones were in sort of their own sort of mini battle of who's going to be the best Mechanicum or Knight player.
Yeah, okay.
And in his words, it's to try and encourage a variety of lists. So that way, Joe Blow doesn't just turn up with Elder every year. Like there is a reason to pick something
Knights
else.
lists, are Knights a specific faction in Epic? Like old Epic, or are they like an offshoot of Mechanicum or?
You can run them as purely a Knight-based list, a Knight household. I don't know. I haven't really looked at the Mechanicum list to know if Knights are allowed in there.
Are they Titans as well? The Knights list?
No, so now they can. They used to not be able to, but Titans used to be able to take like the Imperial Titans in lots of varying lists.
Yeah,
so
that's what I thought.
from Marines, you can run a pure Titan list as well, or you can throw them into
What,
really just about anything
what rule
Imperial.
set were they using?
Net EA Epic. Yeah.
Because for those of you who don't know, there's like 5 different versions of
Yeah, it is
Epic, of like old school Epic rules.
Effectively, it's a dead game really, but fans have sort of brought it back and keep
Because you had
keep
like
the spirit
Net
alive.
Epic, then you got like
There's Epic 40k,
Epic
there's
40K,
Epic
yeah.
Armageddon,
and like
there's a
some
few.
of them, like they're like, we liked 2nd edition best, so we're going to build our rule set off that one. The other one's like, well, we like the one that ended at the best, so we'll. And
Yeah, it's the problem. The main problem I have with Epic, going on a little tangent here, is it's not so much the game system.
Dare you go on a tangent? We never go on tangents.
I made sure I didn't say. I made sure I didn't say rabbit hole. The main problem is the game system itself is fantastic. It's just for us it became a bit stale with us playing it all the time in our gaming circle in Newcastle. And lists not really being developed or changed. So you knew if you wanted to win, you knew what list to turn up with. It wasn't really ever going to be changed. So hence why we...
it's okay, mate. There's 2 new 8 to 15 millimeter games that have just come out that you'll be able to get your thing. Armored Clash from War Cradle, who do dystopian wars and all that kind of stuff. It's in that world. It looks really interesting. And then there's also Warpath that's just come out from Mandy Games, which... Me and Brock got to play test multiple times, and it is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, you've told me, so I look forward to getting into it.
I've played Epic before, and I reckon this is, in my opinion, is better than Epic.
All right, I'll have to finally give it a whirl soon. And then the final quick question I asked them was just the best moment from this year. But for most of them, they sort of said the same thing as before. It's just getting everyone together to roll some dice and see people that you said you might only see once or twice a year to play some war games with. And it was... Overall, I said, and for myself being there as well, it's great to see so many different well-painted armies with different techniques, styles, and the modelling that goes into to some people. So some people had their blast markers, which they'd actually modelled like actual like steam coming from it with like a LED inside it to make it look like it was
nice. That
on fire. Cool. And
did you get some photos of that?
I believe so, yes.
Sweet.
But yeah, and I said it's just great to see that the hobby spirit is being kept alive and well in events like this for games like Epic. That is, as I said, is a dead system, but also with Heresy, it's definitely one of the more popular games in the Newcastle area at the moment.
And just for those of you listening at home, apologies. There is a cricket that has just decided to start singing in this our studio. So enjoy that.
We're calling this a studio now?
It's a studio.
Joys of living in Australia.
Studio it is.
But as I said, so after being there, like it sort of kicked my hobby spirit back into gear as well. So I'm going to dabble in Orc Gargants, I think, for Epic. Orcs are one of the few armies I haven't actually built an army for in Epic, so
I have
give it a go.
I've got a Space Marine, Ultramarine army built. So if you ever want to have a game, we can have a crack at it. I've got
Tyranids.
I've got a lot of.
Yeah, I've had Marines, had Tyranids, had Necrons, had Knights, had Iron Warriors, still have Death Guard, had Eldar. I think there's one more. Sold everything but the Death Guard.
And the other thing we need to have a crack at one day is some Battlefleet Gothic.
Battlefleet Gothic. So I have a mate, Tom, who is a regular Warhammer influencer that I'd love to get on the show sometime. Shout out, Tom. Yeah, he is all into Gothic, so he's definitely someone that we could get around. And
three different forces, I think. Of that.
I think he's got many.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's definitely someone that we could get around and play some games with. So yeah.
Sweet.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for that. And thank you very much to the guys at Legion for letting Zach ask them questions and all that kind of stuff. And shout out to you guys.
I only got heckled a little bit.
Only a little bit? Was
Only a
it
little
because you're asking questions, or was it for other reasons?
'cause
Just
you.
because it's me. I turned up last year to Epic where we were only to use approved list.
Yep.
I turned up with a developmental list, so
Yep.
my list was illegal from the start.
Yep.
That rubbed a few people the wrong way. So I was being a bit of a dick. So yeah.
Don't be a
always
dick,
good.
mate.
But no, if you know me, being heckled is what happens wherever I go, whoever I'm with. So it's fine.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for that. And again, thank you for the guys at Legion.
thank you
Appreciate
very
it. Let's get on to some rumors, eh? Let's
Movies or TV shows?
let's mix it up. Let's just go the whole bag.
Sweet.
Oda has officially revealed that that One Piece will continue after Luffy becomes the Pirate King.
On a 6-month hiatus.
The anime is, but yes, the manga will continue after Luffy becomes Pirate King.
Seen that. I always wondered what was happening because this being the big final arc they're currently on, to see if it was going to end or it would have its sort of spin off from there, or just continue past being the King of Pirates.
Oda, by ending, I mean the juiciest part of Luffy's adventure, since that's when the mystery of what is the One Piece is to be revealed. If Luffy is able to leave here in one piece, we'll get a development will engulf the entire world, the likes of which no one had read before. The greatest war in One Piece history. I said what I said so that the readers would be prepared, since it'll be such a long arc, one that will really pin things towards the finish. So Oda more or less admitted that the plot will continue after One Piece is found, touching every aspect of the One Piece world.
See, I wonder if this might be a load of hogwash I'm about to say, but because I've not read the manga and don't plan on it because I just like watching the anime. I wonder if he will find the One Piece and then that will be the Kickstarter between him and the world government, like finally duking it out and the taking on the masterminds that are pulling the strings behind the scenes
probably.
of the government. So
Yeah.
my one is Blade one, because who doesn't love Blade?
Yep.
So Blade has been delayed indefinitely.
Again, yep.
So obviously due to directors pulling out and things like that.
Apparently the script's a pile of shit.
That too, creative differences. It's apparently been replaced by the new Predator movie in its time slot. So
I don't know if it's actually the Predator movie that was there. They've just listed a Predator movie because
Yeah.
I think they'd announced a few different sort of Predator
it was called
projects.
Because that's
Predator Badlands.
yeah, that's,
was Badlands?
That's
Okay,
the one
because
with
the one that
Haley Steinfeld. Was it Haley Steinfeld?
I think it was. I can't remember now.
It was like the Wild West one.
Yeah, but because I seen the same thing, but it didn't have the title of the movie. It
Yeah, I
said
saw
just
two-
a Predator project.
I saw two different ones. So Badlands might have been the one that one just put out there, and it might be something else. Don't know, but yeah, Blade. Cool.
What do you got for us, Brock?
A John Wick anime prequel that's described as crazier than the main movies is in full development.
Fuck yes, I would.
I do just love the John Wick series. It's
Yeah.
just so good.
So it'll be a prequel feature film and show the impossible task John had to do before retiring.
Did you say it was anime?
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be fucking amazing.
Surprised they didn't just do the John Wick prequel to keep Keanu in the series somehow.
I'd say that
he'll
will still
voice
be
it.
Yeah,
in
he'll be
there, so
voicing it. Yeah, I'd say he'd be
He'll
involved. But yeah.
voice. He'll have some creative something or other within it. He'll be very there.
Doctor Strange 3 will be directed by Sam Raimi again, who directed the second one, and Denzel Washington has been cast as Dormammu.
Cool.
Fair enough.
Hadn't seen that. That's awesome.
So staying on the Marvel bandwagon, Marvel Studios has released dates for 3 films in 2028, February 18, May 5, and November 10.
There you go.
Cool.
That's it.
Amazon's God of War series just got a God tier writer. Producer and showrunner Ronald D. Moore of Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, Outlander, and For All Mankind.
I mean, Outlander wasn't, amazing, but Battlestar Galactica, anyone who wrote on that show can do whatever the fuck they want because that show is beautifully written.
100%.
Saber Interactive have revealed that its upcoming game, A Quiet Place: The Road Ahead, will feature a unique mechanic that ties the microphone into gameplay. So you will have to have a microphone hooked up the whole time, and if you speak or hear any noise through the microphone, the monsters will be able to hear you.
So what game was that?
A Quiet Place: The Road Ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think there's already a couple of games that are dabbling with that now. So you've got to have it there, and any sound it just triggers something.
Yeah,
going on.
I know there's a lot more where like sound is like super important for like those sort of Hunt is an example of the Hunt Showdown or something like that, where like sound is super important, but not your sound. Like
Yeah,
your
so this
voice,
is your sound.
This is your sound, and also I think this is where, as you said, you have to have the mic, so it's not something where you can turn it off to do it a little bit easier.
So Secret Level, which is the Amazon animated anthology series set to launch on Prime on December 10th.
Oh, it's just the 40K part?
Yes.
Yep.
So it's been confirmed that its Warhammer 40,000 episode is a sequel to the Space Marine 2 game.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I haven't heard a lot of good things about the game, unfortunately.
I've heard good things
A lot-
about it.
I-
I only heard good things about
same.
it.
I've heard it was pretty buggy on release for a
Oh,
variety
yeah, I
of
heard
reasons.
that, yeah.
But a few people that have sort of played it that are not gamers per se have sort of said it's just a bit simple, the storyline.
I mean, but the original Space Marine was just a rail game where essentially you followed a path and
yeah.
button bash the shit out of fucking
Yeah, I
orcs.
think as what it's meant to be, it's completely fine as a, best game ever. Probably not
Oh, no.
in that echelon, but yeah.
I think they might have did some power change as well, like released an update recently which shifted a few things that you could do. I think it was.
I haven't played it yet.
I think
so
it was
I've got no
Space
idea.
Marine and apparently it upset quite a lot of people because they were doing particular things which what they loved. They said no more, and then people got the shits.
And
I
it
think
said
was Space
the
Marine.
Warhammer crowd are some of the fiercest neckbeards out there. So.
No.
Christopher Nolan's next movie is rumored to be a period horror about vampires in the 1920s, starring
this.
Tom Holland and Matt Damon.
Yes, I saw that one
looks-
today.
I
I'll
love the
watch the
sound
shit out of that. I watch the shit out of anything Nolan does, but that, yeah.
Very quick one I'll throw in there. Fallout Season 2 begins filming in November.
Nice. Spider-Man officially debuts new powers and costume, including ultra-powerful green webs. This is in the comic book, obviously, as well. This gives him multiple lives to defeat mystic threats that Doctor Doom, Marvel's dark new Sorcerer Supreme, doesn't want to face himself. So there you go. So he'll be like a mysticky, sorcerer-style Spider-Man.
Okay, cool.
So one that might now be a little outdated after something you just told me, AJ, but after reading a draft of Spider-Man 4 script, Tom Holland said it still needed work, but it lit a fire in him. The actor also has his own ideas about his character moving forward, including how he might relate to an MCU version of Miles Morales.
Well, he said, I've heard him in interviews say multiple times that he would love to be the Spider-Man that brings Miles into the live action.
Yeah.
But he was on Jimmy Fallon 2 nights ago, as the time of recording this, I think it was, and they were laughing about how he blatantly lied to Jimmy's face about Toby and Andrew being in the Spider-Man and stuff. And then he asked him, like, what's happening with Spider-Man 4? And Tom goes, it's official, it's happening. We start filming next year. End of next year.
Yep.
Okay, what do you got?
Alien Romulus is getting an official release on VHS.
I did see that. That is awesome. I love that. That is so good.
I thought it was hilarious.
For those of you at home listening and don't know what a VHS is, it's the thing before DVDs. And for those of you listening that don't know what DVDs are, it's the thing before Netflix.
Blu-ray.
It's actually what Netflix started as.
Blu-ray DVDs.
Netflix
same thing.
started as a
Yeah,
DVD
that's
rental
fair.
service. But yeah, VHS, they were big black things and you put them in and it goes and you had to press rewind and all that kind of stuff. Be kind, rewind. Speaking of movies, the movie Dogma is no longer being held hostage by the Weinstein Company.
getting
Saw that.
Which is awesome news for Kevin Smith because he's been trying to get the rights back for a long time for that one. So we can expect
Something.
some new release versions of the movie and stuff like that coming out on DVD and stuff. And he said it will be coming to theaters and streaming services soon.
Yep.
So the John Wick director reportedly took over Ballerina for significant changes after a poor early cut.
I did see that.
He said, of course, Chad had to clean up someone else's mess. Remember, this film is basically John Wick 3.5, so the story happens before John Wick 4, and that some of the movie choices were going against what happened in 4, so they had to change it.
That's fair enough. Yep.
All right. Welcome to Derry is an upcoming American horror television series developed by Andy Muschietti, Barbara Muschietti, and Jason Fuchs, serving as a prequel to It 2017 and It Chapter 2.
I heard this.
The series explores the events preceding Stephen King's 86 novel. Yeah, sweet. I'd love to, if this happens.
I'm very interested. Are they going to bring the turtle into it? Space turtle?
Don't know.
For those of you who don't know, if you've only seen the It movie, its arch rival is a giant turtle.
No, its nemesis is Mary Poppins, remember?
Yeah, this is correct.
Set in the 60s.
Nice. I'm 100% down for it.
And delves into the origin story of Pennywise the Clown.
Hopefully they have the turtle in it then.
You mean Mary Poppins' alter ego?
Yes.
For those of you who never delved into the Stephen King world either, go on YouTube, and I've found a couple of videos, but people that talk about the connectivity in his writings, and it's fucking mental, man.
Yeah.
Like every book he's written, which is a lot of books, are all connected in some way.
Yeah.
So like a lot of the dairy ones, there's a lot of dairy novels, which are all based in that same town. There's a whole lot of other ones that are all based in the same town and stuff. And then bang smack in the middle of them, you have the Dark Tower novels.
Yep.
And they connect everything.
Yeah, right.
So there's characters from all of his other books that are all mentioned or appear in Dark Tower books and stuff. And it's like a big spider web of connectivity.
Yeah, nice.
It's mental. Okay, so speaking of ballerina, we've got Ana de Armas. Ana de Armas is reportedly going to be starring alongside Sydney Sweeney in the Silver Sable movie. So Ana de Armas will be playing Silver Sable, and Sydney Sweeney will be playing Black Cat in it, supposedly. But we've heard her being cast as many different roles. So I think that's just wishful thinking, but it would be nice considering they were just in that movie that's coming out on Netflix soon together as well, where they have the steamy threesome or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I've got a couple Spider-Man Venom-y sort of ones related here. So apparently Venom has a runtime of 1:35, which is quite short.
That's nice. Thank you. Yep. I appreciate this.
And then relating to Null, so apparently Venom 3 director says Null isn't the Last Dance's main villain. The film was just the beginning for him, and then obviously has very strong ties to Spider-Man 4. Yep. We've mentioned that before.
We have. I'll go to quick ones. Daredevil Born Again, it's premiering March 4th on Disney+. So not too far away. And then Detective Pikachu sequel is reportedly titled The Great Detective Pikachu.
Yes.
Ryan Reynolds again?
I believe so.
I mean, it's got to be. He's what made it good.
Yeah. 100%.
Just quickly, I know I'm going out of order, but
I'm done.
Okay, I was going to say, jumping on, so Pokemon have released a bunch of things that they've got in the workshop, from a bunch of new games and things like that to a few TV and films. So there's going to be a Project Reload, which is going to be a new TV with 12 episodes of 21 minutes. The Great Detective Pikachu, like you just said. Project Discovery, which is going to be a Netflix live action. 8 episodes for the first season, with up to 5 seasons being considered. And then
Won't happen on Netflix, but sure.
Project Bauer. Apparently it's going to be the movie 24 in development hell since 2021. The current status is unclear, but it will be a fresh start for the movie universe with a new protagonist. Set in Kanto, only the original 151 Pokemon will appear.
Yes!
The main
Marvelous.
mythical of the movie will be Mew, and directed by Koben Shizuno.
Yes, I'm down for
So
this.
I'm down for that, but yeah, apparently it's stuck in
Fuck all
purgatory,
the Pokemon that are made of keys.
And then quickly back to the Spider-Man, I forgot to say just before, Emma Stone will reportedly return as Gwen Stacy in Spider-Man 4.
Yeah, I did see that.
Sure.
I'll rattle off a couple ones.
You get 2.
I have one more that I'll throw in at the end.
Ian McKellen, he's coming back for a whole bunch of shit to be Gandalf in everything.
Yep.
So, yeah, he's just going to
Yeah,
live
because he
to
didn't
his
right here,
100
but they want to do like 2 more movies or something after that with him.
well, they
so
got
yeah.
the Hunt for Gollum. There's already
Yeah.
talks of a Hunt for Gollum and a Hunt for Gollum 2. So, fuck, we'll see what happens.
Andy
there.
Serkis has got nothing else going on, so why not?
And you gave me only 2. I'm making it 3. There's a new American Psycho movie in the works, but don't call it a remake. So I'm pretty keen for that.
Don't call it a remake!
And the last one that I was going to talk about, I won't stitch Zach up because I just seen his phone, so I won't actually talk to that one. But I was meant to say this last week. Dragon Ball Daima is coming to Netflix on
Netflix.
on October 18th. Therefore, it is already out.
There's
You
only
watched it?
only one episode.
Only one episode.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Haven't watched it yet.
I haven't watched it.
It's a really good way to start the series off, to put it in the concept of what it is. It was, I watched it last night. Really good.
So I've seen a lot of the sort of chat behind it. And I reckon Gohan, because of the timeline or something, Gohan will be the strongest one because it's meant to be set after the Boo timeline or something, where Gohan was the strongest at the time. So mine, last one, Legends Are Forever. So I'm actually interested to see how this plot comes together, But Jackie Chan, Ben Wang, and Ralph Macchio star in Karate Kid Legends exclusively in movie theaters May 30 next year. So considering Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio effectively were the same storyline but in two different universes with
That was my understanding.
Yeah,
but obviously
yeah,
you-
they were different universe, but I'm going to guess that they're just going to get Jackie Chan to replace
Mr. Miyagi.
Mr. Miyagi.
No, because Mr. Miyagi's he's dead.
Oh, that's right. He's
Because
dead. I forgot about that.
because
Yeah.
Cobra Kai
Yeah.
is up to season 6. Season 6 part 2 comes
Yeah.
out next month.
I've held off watching it till part 2 comes out.
It's I watched the last one for that. I mean, it started off really good, and I love the fact that it started off as a YouTube show,
Yeah.
and sort of like the way that it built into what it is awesome. The one thing I hope that they do with that movie is still keep like the Cobra Kai element and whatever his name.
Yeah, that's the thing. So
and tie that through.
it'd
I
be
hope
interesting
Oh, they'll
to
have
see-
to.
They'll have to, because I hope that Macchio doesn't just sort of get another little prop up, because he wasn't really there for when they started up Cobra Kai, and then he kind of jumped on the coattails to bring it back in, like in season, I think it was like towards the end of season 2, maybe season 3. So I was kind of like, oh yeah, cool, that brings in the rivalry and whatever else. But if it's just him for these ones, I'm kind of like, oh, I'd prefer to see the other guy in it. But anywho,
Yeah, it'd be interesting because, as I said, like it's with Cobra Kai, like how they're going to bring Jackie Chan into it. Like, is he just going to be a new character? Is he going to be reprising his version of Mr. Miyagi somehow, somewhere, and he's his long lost cousin or something that brings him in?
Mr. Miyagi's,
But did
it's
he-
Mr. Miyagi's brother. There we
did
go.
he-
We've called it.
did he play? No, because he's dead as well. Did he play?
He played Miyagi.
He
Yeah.
did.
Yep.
Yeah, because Will Smith was effectively Ralph Macchio's character.
Okay.
All right, off of Karate Kid and onto some trailers. So let's start it off with The Electric State, shall we?
No, he didn't. He played Mr. Han.
We're off that now.
No, but I had to check because I was sure that he didn't play Mr. Miyagi.
Oh, there you go. That's
he
who
played,
comes
Mr.
in.
Han, and yeah, so he'll continue that role of Mr. Han. Sorry,
Okay, off of Karate Kid.
he played Mr. Han.
All right, so we're going to talk about the trailer Electric State that just popped up. This is a sci-fi film that's going to appear on Netflix on March 14th, I believe was the air date.
Yep, March 14th, 2025, directed by Anthony and Joe Russo. So
The Russo bros.
fuck yeah.
And filled with a lot of actors.
Millie Bobby Brown, Chris Pratt, Ke Huy Quan, Jason Alexander, Woody Harrelson, Anthony Mackie, Brian Cox, Jenny Slate, Giancarlo Esposito, Stanley Tucci.
A lot of which are just doing voice acting in it, I believe.
Yes.
Some of them are.
Some
Yes.
of them will be,
are.
because
Yeah.
Stanley
it's-
Tucci appears to be the bad guy. And then you got Chris Pratt and Millie Bobby Brown, who are the main actors in it. Millie Bobby Brown appears to be the main character.
Yeah, it does, and it seems to be like a search for her brother, based on
Which
what we could see.
there's a tease in it which looks like the brother turns into a robot, which sort of gets sort of the premise of the movie where it looks like it's obviously set in the future where robots have...
It's not. It's actually set in an alternate 1994.
Well, there you go. But basically, robots and AI are a thing. Humans have sort of become detached from reality through AI in the virtual reality world.
You know what it reminded me of when they started putting the helmets on and whatnot?
The
and
Bruce
sort of-
Willis
Ready
movie?
Player One.
No, it actually reminded me of fucking Wall-E.
Oh, yeah.
And how they get that disconnect and like
Yeah.
they end up going
See,
to
no,
space
it
as well.
reminded
Yeah.
me of, there's a Bruce Willis movie where everyone stays at home and they put virtual reality helmets on and they go out into the world as puppets, essentially, but they're all like beautiful puppets.
That was actually not a bad movie.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good. And Bruce Willis was like, nah, fuck this. And he started going out
Yeah.
into the real world as himself kind of
We
thing.
can do a sequelize it on that. That was
yeah.
sweet.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called.
Bullshit.
I can't remember what it's called.
But yeah, so and then
I will Googles.
and then in the movie, it looks like the robots have been become oppressed by humans because of their uprising or skills, whatever.
Because the humans watch Terminator.
Yep. And then, it looks like Millie Bobby Brown's brother is somehow inside a robot. It's what I took from it. So it'll be a sense of how to get him or his consciousness back into his body of some sort.
And I am down for Chris Pratt with that hairdo and that mustache. He is rocking it.
I mean, it looked really good. I loved the look of the robots in it too. They just looked
With the
they
digital
just-
face and the
it-
orb heads and stuff.
It
yeah.
looked, I don't know, it just looked real.
Yep.
If you know what I mean. Like, because you look at some things, you kind of like, oh, yeah, robot, CGI, whatever. These look so fucking well done. So I think the cinematography that's going to go through it, the visuals look absolutely incredible.
The Russo brothers know what the fuck they're doing.
They know what they're doing.
They have the highest grossing movie ever.
Exactly.
So, you know.
Yeah, as I say, I like the initial sort of one of the early scenes you see like helicopters like shooting at something what looks to be like rubble, and then you see the robot stand up and like fling a flagpole as a javelin at one. So
that was sick.
But no, the storyline and I think the themes in it is going to be quite deep at times and hit people in the feels. It looks like.
Yeah, it'll go the feels for sure.
But yeah, definitely after watching it with Lisa, we decided it will be great to see as a HSC text moving forward with some of the aspects and themes that will be quite readily involved in it.
From the one thing that I am surprised about though is that it's not getting a theatrical release, because I think this would absolutely slap up on the big screen.
Well, and considering the star power involved in front and behind the camera, it's a shock that it's not.
Yeah.
That
movie was Surrogates.
That's the one. That's the one.
2009.
I haven't seen it.
2009. It's a great film.
I'll watch it.
All right, what do we got next?
We have another movie. Let's do the one that I've written the least about and have nothing.
Can I guess?
Yes,
Is
you
it
can.
Levels?
Yes, it is.
Excellent.
So
this trailer,
this gave me
it gave me poor Matrix vibes.
It gave me vibes of a Clive Owen film from a few years ago called Anon.
Oh yes. I know the movie you're talking about.
Yeah, where it's sort of like someone's able to like disappear because of it's a full technological place, future type thing, and I can't remember if it's like a mask or an eyepiece or something, and so the antagonist becomes completely invisible within within anything like security, people looking. And I don't know, it just gave me that sort of vibe, but this seems far more sci-fi, trippy element to it.
I did like how throughout the trailer, they have those glitchy sort of moments where it comes in and out of focus and ties into the theme of being inside of a different reality, like the virtual world. So
so it seems like it's going
through effect.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be that overlapping reality component. It looks like it's going to try and do a bit of a mind fuck. I can say right now, I'm not going to watch this movie. Yeah,
just because it just felt like poor man's Matrix. It felt like the script that was rejected for Matrix 4, and that's saying something with the Matrix 4 that got made.
Look, I'm not going to rush out to get it, but if I'm scrolling through and I see it, I'll be like, yeah, let's give it a look.
I still probably won't watch it.
I said that it might be a good watch with like that sort of thinking movie of like, where's it going to go, the twists and turns involved, but probably something I will happily watch on the couch rather than rushing out to the movies.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't feel like it's going to get a theatrical release here.
Probably not, no.
No. That's it for that one. So rush out and watch that trailer, guys. What's next?
Let's do this one, The Order. This one's coming out on December 6th.
So when you wrote this, I thought we were talking about the series, The Order, the werewolf series.
Yep.
And then I soon discovered, no, we weren't talking about that.
No, not at all.
No.
Because that one's been out for a wee little
That's
while.
been out for a long time. Yeah.
Go give it a watch. I think I've watched 3 episodes. It's not horrible.
That's a good show, yeah.
So director Justin Kurzel, he did Assassin's Creed, Macbeth, Snowtown.
Wait, which Macbeth? Because Assassin's Creed was
the more recent one with the guy.
Magneto.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
And Snowtown. So I'm excited to see what he can bring, because these movies are they're extremely varied. I mean, Assassin's Creed, it's that action type thing. I mean, it's not. I enjoyed it. It's not great.
It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't a good movie either.
Macbeth, I mean, it's...
You have to be a fan of Macbeth to like that movie, but it was a good movie.
But you can sort of see how he does those two, and they're completely different type things. So his director...
the man's got skills.
Exactly. Yeah. And then Snowtown, which is an extremely harrowing true story from a South Australian town about like some murders within the outskirts of Adelaide, I think it was. So yeah, just with that combination, it's going to be really interesting to see what he does here, because he's done the true story, he's got the action, he's got that shit. So fucking have some fun.
So this is based on a true story.
This is based on a true story. And we have Jude Law, we got Nicholas Hoult, Ty Sheridan, Ginny Smollett, Alison Olivia, and Mark Maron. From
the get go watching this trailer, I was just like, I'm down. I'm down to watch this. This looks amazing. Nick Holt looks like he's going to be in fucking beast mode for this film.
Yeah, except
And-
not blue.
Yeah, it's just not that type of beast mode. I didn't even put that connection together when I said that.
But I say, because he's coming out in Jury number 2, which we talked about on the
Yes.
last episode. Like he's got what looks to be a few bangers coming out.
He's got the chops. He's got
But
the
this
variety.
This is one of the first times I've seen him in this
Yes.
style of role.
Yes.
Where he is essentially the baddie, the prick kind of baddie kind of thing. Whereas like most other roles, which he's amazing in, like The Menu and stuff like that, like he acts really well, but he's always kind of that quirky-ish kind of character still.
and even when we've seen him
that
in
underdog style character as well. Like he's not necessarily the most. He might be the main character, but he's not necessarily the most dominant character.
Yeah.
and also like even from like a bad guy perspective, I mean, he was in that piece of trash from Zack Snyder, but he shone through with what he was doing as the bad guy in that. But it's still polar opposite to what he's doing here.
What was he in?
Rebel Moon.
He
I
was-
haven't watched it.
he
You told
wasn't
me
in Rebel
to
Moon.
watch
He
it.
was.
No, he wasn't. That wasn't Nicholas Holt.
Continue.
Anyway, back to it. So
He is playing Lex Luthor in the new Superman, but
Yes, he is.
yeah.
So the order, basically, the premise being, it's set in an American town where we have a white supremacist cult
Yep.
with an uprising, and then the FBI come to town with Jude Law to snuff them out, and we start to see a bit of
They
domestic
start
terror
they're like
and things
they're
like that.
robbing banks, and it's like they've got like a manifesto, which there's like steps in the manifesto of this order within the people, and shit goes down, and yeah, it looks good.
It's a story you often see in like the cop drama shows. Like I said, there's
They look so familiar.
Yeah,
They look so
nowhere near the same actor.
They look so similar, sorry. Fucking hell.
good English.
Ed Screen. Fuck that. They are fucking doppelgangers.
I was gonna say, yeah. So,
Anywho.
like in shows, like I've been watching a bit of The Blacklist at the moment, and The Rookie. Like you often see those episodes, like one-off episodes, where you have that sort of uprising cult out in the sticks in America, and those things. So seeing
It's like one of those stories, but
yeah.
stretched into a feature film with some fantastic actors.
Yeah,
And unfortunately, a bit of true story behind it, which is
Yeah.
always a bit depressing.
And always scary.
And
Yeah.
as you said, it is the true story. It's actually based on, the movie's based on the non-fiction book, The Silent Brotherhood by Kevin Flynn and Gary Gerhardt. So yeah, it's fucking amazing.
And I believe we have one more trailer to talk through. Two more trailers to talk through.
Let's go with...
Well, we've gone from bottom to top, so we might as well hit Armour next then. So Armour, it's got good old Sylvester Stallone
Maybe
in
you
it.
need to start with release date, mate.
I didn't do that part. I just talk about how good it is. That's you're the fact man.
November 22, it's coming out.
I actually knew that. It's in the trailer.
Directed by Justin Rout, starring Stallone, Jason Patrick. He was Michael from Lost Boys back in 1987, which I thought was cool. Dash Mihawk, I tried to grab a prominent role. He's in heaps of movies, very familiar face, but usually in like a supporting role. Silver Linings, Playbook, The Punisher, Warzone, Romeo and Juliet alongside DiCaprio. You'll see his face, very, very familiar guy. Now, Stallone's last couple of movies, they've been good, but stale is probably a good way to put it.
Yeah.
I
mean, that series he's been in, that's really good, but the movies, yeah.
I mean, this looks like it'll be.
It looks interesting.
It looks interesting. Like
It looks
it's an
interesting that
enjoyable-
it's a solo location
Yeah.
I was just saying,
film.
I wonder if it's a sort of small budget movie, but because it's a single location on a bridge, you don't necessarily need to spend a
Oh,
lot
yeah,
on everything.
the
so-
budget would not have been big
Yeah.
for this film.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a premise of basically a armored truck heist takes place on the middle of a bridge, and they're trying to get in to steal what looks to be gold on the inside.
yeah.
pirate booty.
Now, I wonder if Stallone is necessarily a bad guy, or they're trying to, that sort of Robin Hood style thing.
He'll be a bad guy, but he'll have some emotional hook, like he's got a sick kid or something that he needs the money for, or something like
I was
that.
just
So
saying,
he'll
is
be
it-
the anti-hero.
Is it him just trying to, snake the gold back from someone else that is the true bad guy in the story?
I think he'll play something similar to what he did in what was it called, the Savior or Salvation or something. It was a recent like superhero movie that he was in. and he more or less, in that movie, he killed the good guy, but then when he did it, he felt really bad and sort of became the good guy, so to speak, but like into hiding and just sort of became a bit of a recluse.
So it looks.
I get that similar aura where, as AJ said, it's not that he's he is the bad guy, but he's got
he's got
got
some
the
sick kid, or
story.
his wife's leaving him, or some shit, and he needs the money.
But for me, though, like as you touched on, the single location, I mean, that can be a hit or miss.
Yeah, that's what I think is going to make it very interesting.
Because, I mean, you got movies like Buried, Devil, to a lesser extent, Panic Room. Like, Devil was okay, just based in the elevator. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't great. Panic Room was fucking fantastic from back in the day. But again, that sort of spreads through the house a bit more, so it's a little more.
Well, you
out.
do have the levels here in terms of like at some point the you see the truck under the water, so you're going to be able to have that sort of movement.
Yeah, the truck gets pushed off the bridge, so there was a budget for it. But I mean, I don't think it would have been massive, but it looks good.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks well shot, acted, all that kind of stuff. So that's one I might chuck on if I see it. Kind of situation.
So it does. It just looks like it's an action film, but with the twist of it's on a bridge, not storming a compound or something like that. So yeah,
exactly. Bringing us to our last trailer.
probably the biggest budget movie too.
Yeah, probably. Moana number 2. Now, this is coming November. Well, fucking, I've written the wrong date there.
Haven't seen number 1
Haven't you? No. Why?
because I figured I'm a school teacher in that age group, so I figured I'd watch it in class, and I've just never put it on. I didn't go to movies to watch
I'm
it.
actually baffled by
There's
that.
only one thing you really need to know about the movie, and that is you're welcome.
Yeah, which I've seen and heard many a time.
So I've written that it's
Go for
coming
the live
out
action.
November 2027. So I'm going to say that that's very wrong. But in any case, director David Derrick Jr., Jason Haff, and Dana Ledoux Miller, starring all the people from the first one. I didn't actually.
Don't forget, you haven't included the most important behind the scenes person. Music, yet again, by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
There you go. Now
27th November 24 release date.
24. Cool. Thank you for that.
Shit, that's like next month.
Yep.
Correct,
Chloe Leahy Carvalho. So
Nailed it.
I definitely did not. I didn't realize she actually made her debut in the first one.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
I
that's
do
pretty
remember
cool.
that because that was
Yeah.
a big deal about her on the red carpet and all that kind of stuff in the
Yeah.
first movie. And yeah.
Yeah, so good on her. Like she's come through. But my favorite casting of this is Hey Hey. Now Hey Hey is the little chicken.
That's my favorite character in the first movie.
Who do you think plays Hey Hey?
No idea.
Alan Tudyk. When I read that, I was so happy.
Yeah, that's right. So this chicken in the first movie essentially is like just a fucking idiot. And like he'll be on the boat and he'll just walk and just try and just keep walking off the boat, and she has to like rescue him all the time. And all the stupid shit happens to him. Like he is like
As I said, like
the pig is the comedy relief. This dude is like the fucking comedy relief.
So literally his only line is fucking "Gurk," and that's it.
that's all you need. Groot got through
I
with
am
his own
Groot.
Groot.
Oh god, but yeah, I loved.
Oh, he
that
got We
was
Are
it.
Family as well, didn't he? In the last one.
Yeah, it didn't count.
No, it did not. They got someone else to do that bit.
It's been retconned. It wasn't him. No, it's not that I've ever thought it was going to be bad or something. I just never got around to watching it.
That's
and,
great.
It's,
I'm sure
it's a good movie.
At some
not a
point, I'll
horror
have
movie.
kids and I'll watch it then.
It's one that I've never really bothered to put on again. I think the second time I watched it, it was because it was on, and I decided to sat down and went, I'll watch this. It's not a bad movie. Most of the music in it, don't really care about. The You're Welcome song is probably the best song in it.
Is that
That's the
has
Rock.
his rap in it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the Rock's one. And there's a really good song that a crab dude sings, and it's the guy from Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool song. It's very David Bowie-esque style song.
There's a really cool thing where you go and have a look where you get Disney villain songs made to metal. That one's fucking
Yeah, I
sick.
imagine it was.
really good.
But the storyline was a generic Disney storyline.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'm sure this one is going to be the same
And that's what I
generic
said when we watched it.
storyline.
Like it'll be, have those adult puns and jokes throughout, like all good Disney movies do to keep the adults in.
I mean, it says
engaged and
something that
things.
the best character in the movie was a fucking chicken.
I don't know. It's Alan Tudyk.
And, like,
He always
that
steals
is
the
who
show,
I'm
so-
looking forward to in this second one. I won't go out and watch it. I'll wait till it's on Disney Plus. I'll watch it with the kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
but I mean, like the big thing that I wrote, just to basically continue what you guys are saying, but I mean, this movie will need to have a big hook whilst continuing those comedic one-liners to be as successful as the first one.
Yeah.
Because the first one just it hit, like, it was a good movie. I thought it was a good movie.
It's one of those things where actually, I think about it now, I don't know many Disney sequels outside of, or technically it's Pixar with Toy Story, that have had amazing success. I'm probably wrong because there's probably an obvious one I'm forgetting, but like Lion King 2 wasn't as great as Lion King 1 and all those sort of things. Like it's...
Nor was number 3 or 4.
I mean, in fairness, Incredibles 2.
Or the remakes.
Incredibles.
But again, was that not Pixar?
That's Pixar, but Incredibles 2, I wasn't a massive fan of. It was literally just the same movie,
Just with...
but
with
they swapped
the
the
characters.
dad and the mum
Yeah.
in what they had to do. But it was the same movie, which just disappointed me because Incredibles is
Great.
my second favorite Pixar movie. I love my Pixar movies.
Behind?
But Brave.
I haven't seen it.
Fucking love Brave, man.
When we come
Watch-
to we
okay.
come to movies, I think there's going to be a new segment we create, and you'll see why.
Okay, so if you've got to watch Moana or Brave, you watch Brave first, and then you watch Brave again.
Yeah.
And then possibly a third time before.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
Brave
no worries.
is really fucking
I might
good.
put it on in the classroom soon.
Okay, let's jump to the next part. Okay.
I'm going to get slammed.
On to
here.
movies. Now, a few episodes back, I'm probably thinking like 10 episodes back, actually.
I brought it up on my phone so I could talk to it. Forgot we were doing this, so I closed it. I'll bring it back up to get.
I believe it was about 10 episodes, but I'm sure Brock will correct that. Myself and Brock went through our favorite movies of halfway through the year and
Yes.
favorite TV shows. So now that Zach has joined us full time, we'll see.
He's on probation.
He's on probation.
This could ruin it.
He's gonna run through his 3/4 year.
Well, no, I
movies.
was I was
No,
told.
we actually told him to
I
go
was,
back
I
to
was
that date.
timestamped.
Okay,
Yeah, so
cool,
he had
cool,
to go
cool, cool.
before the date that we recorded. So I said that he had to go before that date.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
so I've been timestamped because, especially for TV shows, I've got some absolute bangers I'd throw in that I've been watching at the moment, but I can't. So
show us what you got.
I've got a caveat
Get your
here.
movies out.
As you've just found out, I'm pretty shit with my movie knowledge at points. There are some ones, especially even from this year, I wanted to watch that I haven't, like Bad Boys or Kong and Gorilla. So they don't make my list because I haven't seen them.
Kong and Gorilla.
Yeah, Godzilla.
God, yeah. I was going to say I haven't watched Kong and Gorilla. Is that the Paul remake
Yeah.
one?
I was just processing what he said. I just
See, I'm going to say there should be a new segment where you guys recommend a movie for me to watch maybe once a month, and I bring it back to discuss.
Okay. I'm all for that. Before we get into this,
Well, you know what?
Brave.
Yeah, you got to watch Brave.
All right.
But after I've got a little idea for us to do after this. But let's go through your movie.
All right,
Let's go.
so going from
We don't get distracted.
I haven't cheated so much here, unlike you guys, so I've only got 3.
Hey! I don't think I cheated on
Yeah,
the
no, you
movies.
did. I remember. So my first one is a bit out there, so my number 3rd slot, but it is Axel Foley, the continuation of the Beverly Hills Cop series.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mind this one. The only bad thing about this movie is we got another fucking frog song.
But yeah, so really enjoyed it. Enjoyed it more than I thought I would. I thought it was going to be another one of those nostalgia sort of movies where it sort of just tried too hard to be what it was, but it did it quite well. I
thought it did it really well. I did enjoy this movie.
And it was a continuation. I actually
yeah,
haven't
Yeah, it
watched
was a
this.
continuation.
It's a
So you do have-
continuation. It's set however many years it was since the
Yeah.
first one.
Okay.
They're all the same actor, like all the characters of age and
Nice.
gone on
and
to
yeah, and
different
progressed.
places.
So
and
you've
stuff.
got the older of the Beverly Hills Cop duo. His name escapes me, but he like
the bald one.
He progresses to being the captain.
Yeah, and the
of
tall,
precinct.
lanky one's now a private
I
eye.
haven't watched those in so fucking long.
Basically, the movie is around Axel's daughter.
Okay.
Needs some help, or her friend goes missing or something.
Yeah, so she ends up being a lawyer and going through it all and starts not a lawyer, a reporter.
Yeah.
And investigating a sort of crime syndicate, and Axel ends up getting involved. They've got a distance relationship because obviously Axel was all about the police work and not a very great father back in the day, and so it's about them sort of that underlying tone of them repairing their relationship as they go. She's dating a cop, which is old mate from Third Rock from the Sun, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Nice.
So he's in it. But yeah, it's quite good. I said not going to be a spectacular blockbuster by no means, but definitely worth a watch.
Good continuation. They didn't just remake the old movies. They had nice little homages by like bringing other characters into it, like just one-time characters from like maybe 3 or 2 or sort of thing. They'd redo the bananas and the exhaust pipe joke
and the old mate's always got too much firepower and things like that.
Yeah, like the 3 of them sitting in the car in the same spot and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay.
But they've got callbacks and it's not required that you watch the first few movies. Like if you watch this as if you watch this as a standalone movie, it would be completely fine.
Nice.
But yeah, so that was number 3. Number 2, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
I'm with you on this. Not my top 3, but I loved this movie. I thought it was fucking great. It does not deserve any of the flack it got.
I actually only just finished this the other day.
I'm halfway through.
I started watching it and I didn't realize, I forgot about it. But yeah, I was flicking through the other night and I'm like, yeah, let's finish it.
I do not understand why it got so much hate.
Neither do I.
It is a good movie.
There is a thing that my wife and I
because it was around the Cavill being fired by Disney time and all that kind of stuff.
So
as well.
a lot of the flack I saw was more because of the director
Guy Ritchie. Not Guy Ritchie. Mark Vaughn.
Or did Guy Ritchie have something to do with it?
No, it was Vaughn because they at the end of it they connect it to Kingsman.
Right. Anyway, it was because
Matthew Vaughn.
There was only one main female as a casting member. So even though it was set, it's
based on real fucking people.
I'm aware. That's what we said. It's based on a true or loosely based on a true story. And yeah, the fact that there was only one woman as a main cast member infuriated quite a few people. But overall, other than that, I thought it was great. Henry Cavill's just a badass. Looks like he has a fucking ball playing with the British accent he's got going on.
The scene where they're on the boat
at the start.
You do realise he is British.
No, I did not.
Yeah, he's 100% British. Hence why they want him to play Captain Britain.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a rumor I forgot to mention. Yeah. No, I did not know that.
Yeah, he's like full-blown British.
Yeah. Makes sense why he's so deep into Warhammer because it's... Yeah, all right, continue.
But I love the scene where him and fucking Reacher, Alan Rickman are on the boat and just Alan Rickman's accent and they pretend to be drunk and the Germans are having a go at him and they're just laughing their ass. I love that scene. It was so good.
But yeah, I said throughout it's good action scenes, good plot lines, good twists. And
for those of you who don't know at home, essentially it is based on a real British military team who were sent in under the government. Only a couple of people in the government knew about them. Blah 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 to do some shit.
Yeah, really only 2. Really. And old mate, and then
essentially
the Prime Minister.
The guy who is the radio operator in the movie is the guy who wrote James Bond.
Ian Fleming.
And James Bond is based on the guy that Cavill is playing. Yeah. The real life guy that Cavill plays. That's who James Bond is supposedly based on. So
yeah, great movie.
And at the end of it, they connected to the Kingsman.
I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, he connected it to the Kingsman, so it's like a joint world.
And then my number 1, I really doesn't need much. Deadpool Wolverine. It is what it is. It's been covered many times
as well.
Yeah, by far one of the best movies I've probably seen in the last few years.
It is now, as of last week, beat Barbie.
Number 11, yeah.
It is now number 12.
Yep.
Yeah, 12th highest grossing movie ever.
Is it not the second highest Marvel one now, or third highest behind Infinity Wars and Endgame?
I don't think so.
I think it might be.
But I think it's up there. It's touching it.
No, because I think
Endgame's still number 1.
Yeah, Endgame number 1, but I think I don't know. We'll have a look. I think it might be either 4th or 5th.
Well, it's definitely in the top 5. I think
it also took the mantle back for the highest grossing R-rated.
Yes, it did. Yeah, it did that pretty quickly.
And then just to slide a rumor in, apparently there's discussions for Deadpool 4 being with Wolverine, but I thought Reynolds had decided to leave it behind.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
But
yeah, they were my 3 movies. As I said, I haven't watched. I've watched a lot more of older movies this year for the first time. And seen a few others, like saw Beetlejuice 2. And I was going to throw in an honourable mention for Madam Web just to stir AJ, but I thought better of it because I like to keep my job. But yeah, I thought those 3 were quite enjoyable for me this year.
All right. Well, before we move on to TV shows, let's each of us just on the spot, let's chuck out a movie we recommend for the people at home to watch. Something we've watched recently. We think.
Well, I'll go with Axel Foley because I don't think many people have watched it from who I've spoken to. So yeah, I'll throw that out there.
Mine, just because I watched it the other day with the boy, with my kid, Transformers 1.
Good.
It was fucking great.
Yeah?
It was
Did that not get slammed as well?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah.
It was a great movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It told the story really well, kind of more on the comic book side of the history of Transformers, as opposed to like the movies and the cartoon and stuff like that. I thought it was great. Fantastic origin for Optimus and Megatron. And I liked the way that it developed Megatron flipping in it, from them being good friends to him being the baddie and stuff. So I highly recommend go watch Transformers 1.
I'm going to tag onto the back of that. I've actually only just watched the Transformers Beast Wars one, which is the continuation from the Bumblebee movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I only just watched that for the first time a few weeks ago. Actually quite enjoyed it and got me back into wanting to watch more of the Transformers movies
And
again. So
this is not a spoiler for the end of the movie, but you probably already would know from the rumors, this next movie is going to be Transformers and G.I. Joe.
yes.
Yeah, because I think I didn't enjoy Rise of the Beast that
Yeah, it
much,
wasn't great, but
I thoroughly enjoyed the tie back in.
Yeah.
Well, I think I went into it with very low expectations because I knew it had been pretty well slammed by all.
the one thing that pissed me off about it was the fact that they've said that it is in the same universe as Michael Bay's films, but yet in this one, Unicron is the Unicron that we know and love, whereas in Michael Bay's movies, Unicron was Earth.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's two Unicrons. It's in the
But
same
it's at the
universe.
same
You're done
time, like,
fucked
you've
up
got-
there with the biggest baddie in the Transformer universe.
But you've got it's like I said, there's a few plot mistakes there with them being the same universe because like in Transformers with Shia LaBeouf, they all come after Bumblebee sort of attempts them. Where here they're already there. So
just a quick side note with the highest grossing list for Marvel and whatnot. Now this hasn't been updated to bring Deadpool up to the spot number 12, but above it, it's got Avengers, it's got Spider-Man No Way Home, Avengers Infinity War, and then Avengers Endgame.
Okay, so 5.
Yep.
Cool. There you go. You got a movie to recommend before we jump to the TV shows?
I was ill prepared.
That's fair enough.
TV shows.
All right, now we are on to Zachary's top 3 TV shows.
can I start with the Acolyte?
You can.
No, I'm not going to.
You
Haven't seen
can, if you want.
No, so here I've had a lot more to choose from here, but again, have sort of been catching up on older shows. Watched a lot of The Rookie. As I said, currently halfway through watching The Blacklist. So, and said always down into my anime. Have cheated slightly here though, but I'm going to give a few honorable mentions to start with. So, Avatar: The Last Airbender, great show. We've discussed it many times before. Halo season 2 from this year, again, great show.
Yep.
Just sad.
Don't need to discuss it. Don't need to discuss it any further.
Fuck you,
So
Paramount.
went with a top 4. So slightly cheating with my 4th entry here with My Hero Academia season 7. So not really a new TV show, but quality season. Definitely looking forward to the next one.
Did it come out this year?
Yeah.
It's been airing this year. It's only
Yeah.
just finished 2 weeks ago, I think.
Okay,
So
cool.
Yeah. That's the
yeah.
last season, isn't it?
thought it was going to be, but it's not. There's going to be another one. So
Okay.
I thought because I think everything was saying that this was going to
it
be
was going to be the last season,
or-
but I think there must have been a pivot halfway through because with 2 episodes to go, I was like, there's no way this can end.
Is there a
it just
part
can't.
2 to the season
And
where they're going to continue?
No, it said it's
it,
fine.
or-
It just said we'll continue in the next season. So
Okay. Well, there you go.
yeah, I think it must have been a last minute change because of a few different things. So
Money.
probably that too.
We're cleaning up. Fucking let's go.
the manga's finished. Fuck. What do we do? Let's just Harry Potter that shit and stretch it out.
But it's definitely, as I said, going back to a few other episodes ago, we did the Gateway Animes. Definitely want to recommend watching. I said we'll have 8 seasons, but pretty easy to watch. Not a lot of filler throughout, and yeah, not a bad show. In number 3, I've got The Gentleman.
Okay, yep. I wasn't a fan of this one, but sure.
I was caught by surprise because I thought it was going to be a bit more related to the movie. But yeah, very different to the movie, but yeah, still quite enjoyable. Liked it. A little bit slow at times, but overall, yeah,
See,
highly enjoyed it.
My issue was I fucking love that movie. I love Guy Ritchie movies, and I loved that movie. I thought that movie was probably one of his best. And that's
Yeah.
saying something when you got Lock, Stock, and fucking all those.
Was Guy
movies.
Ritchie, was he involved in the TV show
it
as
was-
well?
Yeah, it was all him
Yeah, okay.
as well. But it was just, I found just he suits movies so much more because he's got that hour and a half, 2 hour time frame, and it's just constantly fucking bang, 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 bang. Whereas this, they stretched it out, and I just, like you said, I found it very boring in a lot of it.
Yeah, okay.
So there's only one sort of stretch I found a bit boring, but overall I was thoroughly enjoyed. Old Mate in the Chicken Suit was good comic value throughout. On Guy Ritchie, though, apparently he does have a new British gangster movie coming out with Tom Hardy involved. So
that doesn't surprise me.
Not
Him
at all.
making a gangster film.
And then number 2, I've got Fallout. Was pleasantly surprised by this one. Lisa watched it and is looking forward to season 2 coming out as well. So hopefully it isn't cancelled.
No, it's.
I
I didn't think it was me, but yeah.
I liked it.
It's not Halo.
I've said this before. I liked it, but it wasn't in my top list. Like it was one of the shows I could watch, and I was like, and I probably will never watch it again.
And then one again, which probably is no surprise to you boys, is The Boys. As my number 1 TV series.
That was your top one, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't my top one. We had the same top one with Shogun.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah, I haven't watched Shogun again, so again that would be one that's on my list.
All right.
It's definitely there to watch. Just haven't got to it yet.
Yep.
But yeah, so I said overall, like I said, I think TV shows have been some bangers out there. But a lot of my problem this year is I've been catching up on shit I should have watched.
Yeah.
So again, like as I said before, I think it's definitely a thing we could probably do like once a month of a movie or a TV show or something like that I can get into and bring back my thoughts of a golden oldie sort of thing.
Cool. Well, let's recommend a TV show that we've been watching lately for the people at home to watch. Mine is Rivals. It's on Disney Plus. It stars David Tennant and a lot of other famous British, Denny Dyer, a lot of other famous British actors and stuff. It's based in like 1986, and like David Tennant runs a TV studio in England, and like back in those days, like there's each studio, like they're the channels are franchised out, and he like owns this one. It's like franchise year where it could potentially be out. So they hire this guy to come in to do like a show because he's very outspoken and stuff, and he becomes super famous and stuff. But then it's all, fucking rivalries and all this kind of shit. And it was sensational. It was a really, really good show. I watched in a night. It's like 8 episodes, I think.
Jesus.
It's really, really good. At one point, though, I had to, my son came in and sat down next to me and was playing his tablet. I'm like, I better stop this because nearly every episode starts and ends with sex scenes.
All right, no wonder AJ watched it tonight.
And every now and then, sporadically, you'll just be like, sex scene. I'm like, pause. And we'll just wait for him to go away. And he's gone away and play. But yeah, Rivals, I highly recommend. It was a really good show.
Well, I said I'm going to throw out The Rookie for those that haven't. Nathan Fillion stars in it.
It only just came onto Netflix not that long ago. So yeah.
But as I said, it's been out and about for a while. It's up to season 6, I believe.
I've watched episode 1 3 times.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a really, really good show.
Not because it was good, because we put it on at a really poor time at home. So by the time we sat back down, we're like, oh, it's finished. We need to start again because we have no fucking idea what's happening.
One of my favorite things of the show, every season they do a body cam episode where the entire episode is from the body cams that they wear.
Say that it happens a lot. Like it's not. There's one episode where it's predominantly that.
Oh no! Like so, they do shots where it's from the body cams and stuff. But there is one episode a season where the entire show it starts in like proper nicely shot thing.
Sure.
And it's like the rookie and someone else going to get their gear, and as soon as they lock that cam in, the entire episode is from cams or like security cameras and stuff like that. And it's just so well done. And like from that POV kind of thing. It's awesome.
And the premise of the show is it tries to be a bit more truthful to what cops sort of go through and things like that. So you do have like...
I can see that from what happens in the first episode, because the first episode, there's a couple of things that happen which were like, some are lighthearted, some heavy and whatnot. So yeah, I can see how that gets carried through.
From memory as well, I think I'll hear this may be completely incorrect, but I believe that his character is based on a real person, but not the storylines.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So
because effectively, for those who don't know, Nathan Fillion is like a 40-year-old man that has sort of a midlife crisis when he splits from his wife of so ever long, and then is involved in a bank robbery where he's sort of confronts old mate.
Comes out as the hero.
Yeah, comes out the hero, and then becomes the rookie. And the joke of the sort of first season is he's a 40-year-old rookie. But yeah, no, overall, like Nathan Fillion, I think plays the character quite well. I'd seen him in Castle, where he's sort of primarily there is the comic relief sort of thing, and always sort of pops up with the solution. But here he's sort of the similar role where he sort of always has that unique perspective because of his age, so that way he's able to look at things in a different perspective.
But the good thing about the Rookie is the supporting cast is
quite good.
fantastic.
Yeah, okay.
There's not one character in that you're like, get this fucking person off the screen.
That's good.
But even then, so they and they're not scared to sort of do away with the main character, which was seen in the first season where the captain, spoilers, but I said it's been out for years now.
It's been on Netflix for like a week.
The captain is killed in an incident in the first season, and it's like you sort of leading up to it, you start to get really invested in her character, and then all of a sudden it's gone. And I thought was there something going on with the character behind the scenes or things? And no, it was just that's
How
the
it was
reality of the of police work. Like you're there 1 minute and then you're gone. Like it doesn't matter if you're a captain or a rookie. Like things can happen to you. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Right, I might have to sink my teeth back into that.
What about you, sir? What are you watching?
Well,
Something you'd like to recommend?
I'll recently watch this and I've mulled it a bit more, but I'm going to recommend Terminator Zero to give it a gander.
Because you were saying that the other day.
Yeah.
You weren't a massive fan of it.
It was a tricky one because I found that the first half of it is kind of like you're just doing Terminator again, and it is hard to get away from Judgment Day. It's hard to get away from what Terminator is because that's sort of what it's all based around. Skynet rises, Judgment Day happens, machines fuck people up. But what I quite liked is through the back half of it, it starts to shift away from a bit more because in essence, there rather than just being Skynet, there's now another AI, and the other AI is called Kokoro, and it just sort of gives that element of, well, it's not just Skynet versus the people now, it's Skynet versus Kokoro, and Skynet has people with it and Kokoro gets people with it, and so it ends up becoming much more of a two-sided balanced war, so to speak, rather than just the machines and the people just really struggling to find a solution. So yeah, I kind of liked that towards the end of it, and I think that it had a good build to take it through to the next season, which I hope we get now. So yeah, slow start, good finish. So I do recommend giving it a watch because it is also easy to watch.
Yep.
Awesome.
And then I will say, as you two mentioned in your list, I think there are a few TV shows that are currently out now and coming out by the end of the year that will definitely be settling into my top three.
My lists have changed.
Yeah. We're gonna have a big end of year list for you guys of what we loved from throughout the year. But that's a little while away.
It is.
And until then, is there anything else that you gentlemen would like to talk about?
I'd like to know if you two have been painting anything this week. Because I've actually got a lot of paint on miniatures this week, so just seeing if other people are joining the movement.
I did as well. I clear coated 2 of my minis that I painted a few weeks ago.
Very important step because it's a step I often forget or just can't be bothered to do.
No, I've been painting my avatar for Eldar, my Eldar army, which is not actually an Eldar army. It's a one-piece,
one-page rules.
One-page rules.
Heard good things about one-page rules.
It's good fun.
It's a good system because it's just super fucking simple.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful model, and it's kind of just been sitting over near my air compressor, and I sort of gave a spray, and then I was like, gave a spray another night, but I actually sort of got in there and started smashing away at it, and I've got a really good base coat on it. So been doing that, and I painted, for some reason in my 3D model folder, I found a game from Titanforge, which is another STL manufacturing mob who made a game called Grid Wars, which I must have backed and had the models there. So I printed 2 factions off of that and painted those up so we can have a crack at that one day.
Very good.
And I painted 1 Marvel Crisis Protocol mini of, what's the May Parker, the anime one from Spider-Verse.
Yeah, right.
It's on the robot.
Yep. Sweet. Cool.
Yeah.
No, I'm definitely. We've got in discussions. We've just backed a Kickstarter, so when we get those models from that, we're going to each paint one of the same models and sort of put them all together.
We've backed the Knights models, which at the time of recording this, which is on the 23rd of October, it has 4 days left on My Mini Factory. It's from Night Models, who make the Batman miniature game. They had a game way back in the day when the first edition of Batman was out called the DC miniature game, which was compatible with the Batman minis and all that kind of stuff. Had all DC characters, had movie versions, cartoon versions, comic book versions. There's even Big Bang Theory cosplay versions of the characters. The game didn't do well because I don't think anyone really knew about it. They used to be all metal miniatures as well, pretty pricey. And the game kind of just went away. They just stopped releasing things for it. And they've kind of just gone, you know what? Oh, this is in my mind, this is what they
make
thought.
a last-ditch effort to make some money.
In my mind, this is what's happened. They've sat there and gone, our license is going to expire soon for all these DC stuff. We've got all of these sculpts. The game doesn't exist anymore. Let's release them as the STL files so people can download them. We'll make a shit ton of money because we have no expenditure here because they're not manufacturing anything. They're not ordering new minis or anything.
What about
like
postage and handling?
That's it. It doesn't exist. So it's all profit for them on this. And I believe that you're not going to be able to buy them after this either. It is, if you didn't back it, you don't get them kind of thing, which tells me that their license is probably expiring.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Their IP license. So it was pretty good. I think it was like $160 or something like that. And you get 100 and something different models.
It's like 180 models.
Yeah. So what we're going to do, like Zach was saying, is we are going to probably once a month, once a week, once a fortnight.
I'd say once a month just to make sure everyone's got plenty of time.
We'll start it off as once a month. We're going to each print the same mini, and then we are going to print mine.
Yeah, we
will then all paint the same mini, and then we'll take photos of them so they're all identical. We'll chuck them up on the Instagrams, and we'll get everyone to vote on which one they think is not painted the best, but like the best.
Yeah,
because one of us might be better the painter than the others. I don't know. We'll find out.
It might even just be that you come through with an absolutely wacky paint scheme that just people go, ha, I like that. I mean, it's
not traditional. You can't do it that way.
You can do whatever the fuck you want, man.
So we've got another 4 days or so till we get the minis. Once we get the minis, we'll print one out. So if any of you listening want to jump on the Facebook or whatever, go have a look at the My Mini Factory Knights models, DC, whatever it is, but it's called Knights Models is the company on myminifactory.com. Have a look at what you get in the all-in pledge. We'll be getting it all. If you see characters, chuck them in the comments which one you'd like us to paint. If not, we'll just choose one and we'll go for it.
I think it'd be fun to randomly generate somehow so that we can chip away.
We can make that happen, definitely.
So let's list them all out, do a generation.
And then we might actually have a game.
Crazy talk. I was going to say, so if you look on my socials recently, you would have seen I've finished my more Grunter pig. Been working on some weird brute and brute rages for the Oryx as well, but have started a old school Be'lakor model. So he had a re-release where he's bigger and better, but I've got the older version of it just because his scale fit better with the old world. So he'll be a Demon Prince for that. So that'll be started that last night. Got the base coat and the dry brushing done on him because he's predominantly black. So
nice. And one last thing, if you have been following the YouTubes and the latest episode of Plays Games, myself and Brock cracked into Disney Locana TCG, which is a game I always said I would not play because I'm not a massive fan of Disney, and I thought that's an IP that doesn't interest me. Then we're like, you know what, fuck it, let's play a game. We played a game, we're both kind of like, yeah, we're going to have to buy them now. So we went out and bought starter sets.
Yeah, it's just like, fuck. Well done, Disney, you bastards.
Yeah.
It's a
fun game, and Zach actually got to play his first game too.
I played a game today. It was a different mechanic in terms of how you win rather than necessarily attacking each other. You just win by sort of collecting the points, so you can either attack or score points, and it was a different mechanic there. But enjoyed it. We'll have a look into it, and more than likely be forced by you two to purchase a card or two in the system. So.
And I recommend the starters are only $30 in Australia, and you get a 60 card deck and a booster pack. Which is pretty cool for a starter set.
And the art's awesome. Like the card has some really, really nice art on it.
There was one in the set you played in the Plays Game video, the Anna, and she has fucking full like knight armor on and stuff, and it looked so good. I was tempted just to buy that starter just so I could get that card.
But yeah, and then just before we wrap up, I just want to throw a shout out again to Newcastle Legion for letting me come in and sort of ask those questions. But if anyone is free in the Newcastle area, they have their games day on, which is once a month, but it's this Sunday is their games day. So
As of recording, 23rd
yes,
of October.
Yes. So the last Sunday of each month, they run games there. So you rock up and sort of, if you jump on their Facebook page, you can sort of book a game with someone, and basically you can play anything from 40k, Epic, Age of Sigmar to Saga, Dead Man's Hand, Flames of War, any sort of miniature game that you can put on a table and roll dice with. Someone in Newcastle will play it with you.
I'm sure that people have seen their socials before ours, but we'll share it around anyways.
But yeah, so get along and support Kendall and the boys to keep it going. It's definitely a great group of guys, and if you haven't been before in the Newcastle area, definitely recommend checking them out.
All right. Well, that's it, guys, for this episode. Thank you very much for listening to Frantic Nerdcast. I am AJ.
I'm Brock.
I'm Zach.
See ya.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to Frantic Nerdcast.
You can find all our latest news and information on Facebook or at franticnerdcast.com.
You can find us on Instagram at Frantic Nerdcast. Find AJ at Weird Art by AJ. Find Zach at Frantic Kaz and myself at Frantic Brock.
Please make sure to head over to our YouTube channel and subscribe for more YouTube-only content like Sequelize It and Plays Games.